Meanwhile, in Kenya, consumers are cutting their spending due to increased taxation and, of course, the higher cost of living in the country. Now, the weakening of the Kenya shilling has also adversely affected many companies, with some now forced to reduce their workers so as to cut their costs. While the local currency has made gains against international majors over the last week, small and medium-sized businesses in the country say that they're still struggling due to the hard economic times. And people in self-employment are amongst the hardest hit. Here's Beryl Oro with more.
Jared Omondi, a Kenyan carpenter and father of 8, has turned to walking to work and living on a mostly vegetable diet after the cost of transport rose beyond his reach in the past year. He has not been able to visit his wife and 6 of his 8 children who left the city for their rural home in western Kenya.
I have not gone to see my family since August. The cost of fare has gone up. Rent for your house and workshop also need to be paid. There's no way you can afford the fare to and from, as well as money for the household. So we are hurting in all corners.
The daily cost of public transport to his furniture workshop in Nairobi's Eastlands area has doubled in the past year due to the government increasing taxes on petroleum products, while the cost of a kilogram of meat has jumped by half.
It's been difficult having a good meal. You cannot afford to buy a half kilogram of meat, and if you have children, they have to eat kale the whole month. If you are to change, it can only be sardines.
The cost of doing business has further shot up due to a new tax for employees and employers introduced by the administration last year to finance the construction of affordable houses. This has hit even established businesses.
From a consumer perspective, the consumer is stressed. So we are seeing the consumer contract, either in number of occasions they are consuming or the price of what they are consuming. We are seeing everybody downtrade, going lower down. And we can understand that because we know the macroeconomic conditions are not so good.
A survey by the Federation of Kenyan Employers of its 4,500 organizations, which employ 1.2 million workers, found 40% had cut jobs in the past year. And now some said they were considering relocating to neighboring countries.
If I look at the last year or so, I would summarize that employers are in distress. It's a very tough economic environment. The business operating environment is fluid, it's unpredictable, and we see this reflected in various ways. That distress is reflected in employees making very many demands.